Don't let this glorious episode distract you from the fact that next week is the finale of a recovery of an MMO junkie. You heard it here. Yep, it is true. This series is only going to have 10 episodes, and that is it. So we're not going to be having 12 episodes, 22 episodes, 24, 25 episodes. That's not happening. Recovery of an MMO junkie is only getting 10 episodes, which is sad, but at the same time, when you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, of like everything that's been going on in this series, it does make sense that next week would be the finale because of the progression with the plot and characters. Now, however, there is some good news I want to let all of you know. Apparently, there's going to be an OVA. Now, it's going to be releasing sometime around December 8th or whatever, so I don't know if we're going to have to wait for translations or not. I have no idea, but basically what I'm saying is there is going to be an OVA. So even though next week, episode 10 will be the finale, apparently there's going to be an OVA, and if I had to assume anything, I don't know, it might be an epilogue or something for the story, or maybe a potential setup for a season 2 if there is more content to cover, because I don't really know if the series is actually concluded from the original source. I really have no idea. But anyways, getting right into it, though, this episode, man, oh man, did it play with me. It messed with my feelings the entire time, because the episode opens up and all that, with Morty taking a shower, and she's like, how did this happen? And you can see on the, the nameplate of where she's at Sakurai's, place. And I'm like, how did this happen? Like, how is she at Sakurai's place taking a shower? I'm like, what? Like, how did the scene from last episode go to that? I'm like, okay, something's going on here. And eventually, it goes back in time, it goes back to, like, the scene from, like, the previous episode, getting to see clarification on what's going on, and eventually she goes, and spends her time, goes back to her house and all that. They kind of say, like, hey, let's continue to be friends. It was just a really great scene, just seeing these two, officially accept who they are. They're both Lily, and, they're also both, characters they've been playing together as. It's just nice to see. They were both finally, putting everything on the table and clarifying who they were, and I like the inner thoughts of Morty, when she was like, if I was in Sakurai's position and I was to find this out, would I have been able to confront him and ask the questions he was just now asking me? And I'm like, yo, that is very interesting, because it does make you wonder if she would, and she even admits to herself she probably wouldn't have. Since she's so shy in how she is, she probably wouldn't have wanted to destroy the relationship or anything like that. She would have been nervous, and so she would have bottled it all up inside of her and never decided to take a step forward, which is one of the big problems she has. As we know, Morty, she is a NEET. She is someone that is a shut-in, but also on top of that, she, as we can see, has some problems with the real world. She has trouble probably fitting in. We can see that from, like, certain little glimpses we've had of her past, and so this lets us know her not wanting to destroy a friendship. I could see why she wouldn't want to do that, especially if she could say something that could completely ruin it, because she's having so much fun while playing games, especially with Lily. She didn't want to ruin that, so she didn't want to take that risk or chance of doing that. So her overall explanation on why she didn't do that, or why she wouldn't have done that, made me very pleased with the writing of her character. But anyways, though, as the scene went to the next, though, we go back to her house and all that. We found out that, time passes, and, basically, they're not communicating. Like, you have to where Sakurai hasn't logged back into Lily to play as Lily and all that and have fun on the MMO. They're not doing that. And so, obviously, there's this loneliness that is building up, which makes a lot of sense. Because, regardless of, them putting everything on the table, it is a very awkward situation. Because it got me thinking. When I was watching this episode, I was like, that is very true. It would be very awkward. I mean, even though this is someone you've known for a long time, you've been playing with them, you've got to chat with them constantly, even though you finally found out their identity and you've known them for a while, it doesn't matter. It'd still be very awkward, because there's always been these gaps between them. For instance, when she lost track of her friend a long time ago, and then eventually she finally found Lily, and then, all the stuff that's happened in the real world and all that, how she's a NEET, and how Sakurai knows how she is, how she looks, and all that. Obviously, she's very self-conscious about that, and I'm like, this is, very relatable, because this is something that actually would happen. Regardless of everything being settled, it looked like everything was settled, stuff like that just wouldn't, be swept under the rug and then move on. People would still have some issues. They would probably be very conflicted. They would be like, this is awkward and weird. How do I even go about talking to this person? Because, I mean, if Lily would have logged on, obviously, they probably don't want to talk about how they know each other in real life. They don't want to talk about how one's a guy and one's a girl and all that. And they want to talk about, like, all this awkward stuff they've already went through. So, it can be very awkward, especially when they're trying to party together. If But on top of that, since they're partners inside the game, like a marriage or something, it makes it even more awkward. So I could see why. I could see why Sakurai didn't want to log on. It's more of him being shy and all that, and kind of wanting to not have to deal with it at the moment. And that also fits with his character as well, since the reason why he plays an MMO is for he can escape reality, which makes a lot of sense. That's what he wants to do. And so if he was to dive into an MMO, obviously he would just go right back into what he is not used to or doesn't want to deal with at all. And so that's kind of why he was shutting himself off and trying to avoid it at first for the entire week, because he just didn't know how to deal with it. So the title, A Recovery of an MMO Junkie, is not necessarily just for Morty Morty, it's also for Sakurai. Both of these two are overcoming their problems and being able to learn from each other and better themselves so they can go out there and be confident within themselves. That is what I see going on here with the story. But anyways, once all that's done though, basically rain happens and Morty Morty goes into Sakurai's apartment, and the mood and atmosphere there, like, yo, the atmosphere, like, okay, I've seen too many anime, and I've read too much manga to know most likely nothing really lewd is going to happen. Let's just be real here, okay? I know we all probably are like, that's probably going to happen, but it's not, okay? Let's just be 100% real with each other. It's not. If it does, I'm not even joking. I will be absolutely shocked. You'll hear it from me first. I'll be shocked if that does happen, but I just truly doubt it. I mean, I do believe that they'll probably become a couple or something, a relationship, since next week is the finale. I can see definitely a relationship starting. Maybe they're gonna become an official boyfriend-girlfriend or something. I can definitely see that, but when it comes to the atmosphere and mood that's being set there, especially with her coming out of the shower and all that, you know, him lending her clothes, I just don't think anything truly crazy is going to happen. I've just seen too much anime to, you know, see this and believe that that's what's probably going to happen. But I could be wrong, though. I mean, this series has surprised me already with everything it has done. I mean, think about what it has done with the relationship with these two characters. I mean, that is, you know, something we got to actually take note of, that this series does have a lot of progression, and these two characters are adults. They act like adults, so who knows? Maybe we will have that shocking twist in next week's episode. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, how you felt about this week's episode of A Recovery of an MMO Junkie. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Please be honest in the comments below, and I love you guys. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe, and if you like this video, please leave a like, and if you don't like me, well, you know, leave a dislike as well, because I can understand why if you don't like me. So I love you guys. Please be safe. Chibi out.